Hey everybody, welcome to T-Boy Cooks. I appreciate you joining. It's a weeknight and I thought I'd show you a real quick, easy, and tasty weeknight meal called beef stroganoff. It's actually one of the recipes that I got from Karen's side of the family, and they call it Hamburger Stroganoff because it uses hamburger meat, hamburger ground up, instead of the strips of like sirloin steak or something like that. But it's very easy, very economical, and yet really tasty. Goes together real quick. Let me show you the ingredients and then we'll get to making this. This is going to be good. Hope you stick around.
T-Roy's chilling in the backyard grilling, cooking up some barbecue for you. T-Roy's chilling in the backyard grilling, showing you that you can cook it too. Always with the beer or whiskey, but he cooks responsibly.
Alright folks, this is one of those old family recipes. I don't think I've done this one on video before, but hopefully the kid will like this one, and he grew up eating this kind of stuff. The recipe itself calls for about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of ground hamburger meat. I'm using 80/20, and I've got almost 2 pounds right here because I like ground beef. I've got about 1/2 of an onion here. This is a large onion though. If you got a small onion, go ahead and dice up the full onion. You're going to need some noodles. We like to use these egg noodles here. Gonna need some butter. I'm using salted butter. Gonna need some sliced up mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, just leave them out. Calls for a clove of garlic. I'm using the jarred garlic. Again, a weeknight meal. I'm just throwing stuff together. Sour cream. Got a cream of chicken can right here. We're gonna use that. Got some parsley to throw on at the top at the end, and salt and pepper. And of course, we're gonna need some flour, just all-purpose flour back here in the back. Alright, let's get to browning this meat up and sweating off the onions. Alright folks, I got this nice pan here and I got it over a medium-high heat. And I'll put the recipe down below, so y'all just hit show more down beneath the video for the recipe. 4 tablespoons of butter. We're going to get this melted down. I'm going to add those onions. Let those onions start sweating down and get that butter melted in there. I'm telling you what, man, this is one of those staple meals that I love to make on a weeknight. Again, very, very easy and very tasty. Alright, after a few minutes, your onions should be starting to kind of get translucent over here. This is the time you want to go ahead and add in some garlic. And I like garlic. It calls for 1 clove. I'm going to put a heaping teaspoon in there. I think 1 teaspoon equals a clove on this jarred stuff. Just kind of let that go for a minute or so until you start smelling the garlic. Once you start smelling that garlic, which is already happening actually. Yeah, once you start smelling that garlic, go ahead and add your meat. Again, ground beef. And folks, if you want to see a more in-depth version of this, I did make another video. And I used some sirloin steak that I sliced into slices. It's got red wine in it. It's a totally different recipe. But I did make that video, and I'll put it up in the corner up here for you. Up here, I think. Anyway, I'll make that for you, and y'all can check that video out if you want a more in-depth recipe or a more authentic recipe. But you know, sometimes on a weeknight, you just want something that's good. And it ain't gonna take you a whole long time to make it. Get all back in there. I'm losing stuff. All right, let me get this beef ground up. Let me get the beef browned up, and we'll meet y'all right back. All right, while we're waiting for that meat to brown up, go ahead and throw you some water on, because you're gonna need to cook those noodles. Got me a pot of water. Go ahead and throw some salt in there. There you go. Cover that up, let it come to a boil, and keep stirring up your meat over there. Oh, and I forget, I've got people that actually do not know the first lick about cooking. So when I'm talking about browning meat, what I'm doing, I'm busting the meat up with my my wooden spoon here. You can use any kind of spoon you want. Just something to bust the meat up. So it's smaller chunks is what you want. And let it cook for a little bit. Let it get kind of hot on that side, and then after a minute or so, come through, spin it around, See it's brown on the bottom there? Spin it around and chunk it up again, you know, just bust it up, bust it up. Just keep doing that until you have even brownness throughout all of your meat. Make sure those onions are still cooking. Don't leave them hanging on the side. So we'll keep cooking. Alright, so this is about ready. It's all browned up. Onions are looking good. Smell that garlic, smells wonderful. Just go through it, make sure you don't have any huge pieces of ground beef. If you do, just chop them up a little bit, that'd be fine. Next step is to add some flour. We got butter in there, right? And we got the grease from the meat. Stir that all in. We're gonna make a little roux. It's gonna tighten everything up, as you'll see as we progress. You'll just hang on there. I ain't quite done yet. Get that flour mixed in there real good. See, it's absorbing all of that liquid. Now what we need to do, throw in our mushrooms. I already drained the oil off of here in the jar that come with oil. Get all that drained off of there. Alright, stir in the mushrooms. Now we need some salt and pepper because we have not seasoned this other than putting that salted butter in there. So make sure you salt it up. Make sure you, and that salted butter does have salt, so don't over salt it. But, you know, just taste it as you go. Put some salt and pepper in there, folks. Now, when you add flour to make like a roux, you need to let that flour cook out a little bit to get that flour taste out of it. So I'm going to leave this uncovered, turn it down to like a medium low, and I'm going to let it just hang out and cook. I may stir it every minute or so, but let it go for like 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes, and that'll cook that flour taste out of there. Alright, if you see some stuff sticking down here in the bottom, all you got to do is just scrape it off there. That's fine. That's why you got to stir this. Anytime you're making any kind of roux, make sure you scrape the bottom. Stir the stuff up really good. Mix it all together. This is about ready. It's been going about 4 minutes actually. Smelling good. And at this point you can go ahead and taste it. Just kind of give it a little tweak if you need to. We're going to go ahead and add this cream of chicken soup. Just 1 can. Just add the soup, not water or anything else. Just add the soup like it is. Scrape all that out of there. Just like that. Alright. Give that a good mix. Turn the fire down to like a medium. Tell y'all, man, this is quick and easy. Very good weeknight meal, and the kids love it. Trust me. Anyhow, you get all this mixed in together and just let it go for about 10 minutes like this. Basically what you're doing is warming through the soup. And we'll catch you back here in about 10 minutes. Show you what we do next. And I just remembered, you got noodles we need to do. So get the noodles. Water's boiling already, so we're good there. I got this full bag. I got it's this 12-ounce bag right here. We're going to put about half of that in there. There we go. Come on now, get out of there. Something like that. Get it all mixed in. There we go. Get back up on high. That's got to go about 7 to 10 minutes or so. I'm going to set my timer for that. And back over here, make sure you stir this. Even though it's like on a low to medium low temp, you got to stir this up. Make sure it heats evenly. Make sure nothing's sticking on the bottom. Alright folks, my noodles are ready. Fixing to take those out. Now, last thing you want to do is put you in some sour cream. Calls for a cup. I like to add maybe 3/4 of that, stir it in and see what it looks like. Because a lot of time, I add too much. We'll see how that looks. There we go. And the burners are off on both of these. And I need to hurry up and get them noodles off of there before they cook anymore because they are al dente. Yeah, that's looking pretty good right there. I like the way that's looking. Alright, there we go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add, oh, and I got some bread in the oven too, rolls. Let's go ahead and put these noodles directly in here. Make sure you drain them. You don't want any extra liquid in there. Make it too soupy. Alright, so that's it. Go ahead and give this a nice mix. And again, everything is off. I think my bread's just about ready. I'm starting to smell it. Surprised Karen hasn't notified me of that yet.
Well, it's time to be nice.
My fans love you, honey. Alright, now here at the last minute. Throw you on some parsley flakes, folks. There you go. And there's my bread. See, everything's coming together just as it should. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. There we go. I'm gonna turn off that buzzer. We'll give this a nice stir. Turn off the oven. There we go. And folks, there's your meal. All right, folks, here we go. Again, nice, delicious meal. Hopefully y'all can see that. Let's give this a try, and right at the very end, throw you some more parsley on top. Makes it really colorful. But I'm gonna tell you what, if you got kids and it's a weeknight and you don't feel like messing a lot with dinner, this is one meal for you, and it's cheap to make too, folks. I know it's good, but let's give it a try. And I like these little rolls like this. Little dinner rolls go with it. Folks, this is a win-win. I've been eating this for, how long have we been married? 22 years?
Yeah.
Been eating this a long time, folks. Hope you give it a shot. If y'all enjoy this kind of stuff, give me a thumbs up. Hope you share the video. And when you do, please tell everybody you know that T. Roy cooks responsibly. Cheers, everybody.